What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Storyline Podcast. I'm Felicia,
I'm Mike J.
and we are here to talk wrestling and only wrestling. This episode is called Why Wrestling Still Slaps in 2025. We all have our own personal views, and we want you to get to know us. This is episode 1, so please bear with us as we may be laughing. There may be pauses. Yeah, so let's get started. Mike,
What's up?
how are you?
I'm blessed. No apologies needed. They don't need no apologies. We talking about wrestling. They know how this goes. We here.
All right, let's do it. So, what got you into wrestling? Like, how did your wrestling life start?
Personally, grew up as only child, flipping through channels one night, 8 years old. I flipped the channel, and I just happened to see The Rock on UPN. You remember when SmackDown was on UPN?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Saw The Rock.
Man.
I heard that promo, wondering who's this man, what they doing, why everybody's so excited. Then here comes Triple H. The two most powerful men in wrestling right now, almost 30 years ago, doing the same thing. Power plant. Saw that, fell in love with it. What about yourself? How did you get into this?
So I can't really remember the first instant of me getting into wrestling. I can say that when I was younger, uh, my first memory is having the Royal Rumble game and being able to use the chair.
I
Um, Fast forward, I just one day I remember being in elementary school and watching The Rock, um, and getting in trouble for using the promos that um he did in school. Also getting in trouble for telling people to suck it. And yeah, so fourth grade is what I remember. And after that, I never stopped watching it.
Nice. Hey, I think The Rock is gonna be, we already talked about it, The Rock gonna be a standard topic in this conversation as we move forward.
Absolutely.
No matter what nobody says, The Rock is a pivotal point, especially us as Black wrestling fans,
Yes.
having a representation that loud, that pronounced. It's love. So we gonna give him his flowers, but we also gonna bury him where he needs to be buried.
Right. Because he's been pissing me off lately. And before we get into that, so what is one match or moment that made you a fan for life?
Undertaker versus Kane, Unforgiven, 1998. It was just something about two giant men, a ring full of fire, and at the end of it, a guy's hand got caught on fire. I wasn't too familiar with the product, but by the time I was done with that match, I had picked it up from the library probably 6 months after it happened.
I used to be scared of them. They
Yeah.
used to make me scared.
Kane gave me nightmares. I can admit that.
Yeah,
Today he just pissed me off. But
the Undertaker music used to scare me a lot. I don't like that. I mean, I love the Undertaker, but when I was younger, I fucking hated them because I was scared of them both.
he's in my top 3 of all time.
And I get that. I understand that. They used to just scare the fuck out of me.
For sure. What was yours?
Um,
What was your moment?
I can't tell you or say that I have a favorite match, um, because I don't. I have favorite moments.
Mhm.
Match wise, I can't say that this match, that match, just like, WrestleMania 17, like with Stone Cold and The Rock.
Yeah.
Great match. Stone
Yeah.
Cold turns heel. Wonderful. However, the last match that I thought was, for me, great in a moment was Cody Rhodes versus Roman. When Cody finished the story.
Okay.
When Cody finished the story, I actually cried. I thought that was great. It was definitely cinema up until then. It was great. I loved it.
Definitely teared up at that one.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was great.
I'm I'm a whole grown man, but yeah.
And then for me in moments, Chris Jericho's promo, his debut when he came, his promo with The Rock.
Rock. Yup.
Yes, fire. He was he had a little sass to him at that time, but I loved it.
Mhm.
Another moment is when WrestleMania 17, when they was pushing Linda McMahon in that wheelchair.
She got out the wheelchair and kicked. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And then another one, was The Rock when he told Vicky Guerrero to come out because he wanted to sing her a song. And he's telling her that bitch, you look horrible tonight.
You look horrible.
Absolutely my favorite. And, that's about the thing about The Rock is The Rock has always been flashy, funny, just a super comedian, and I've always loved that about him.
Okay.
He's always made me laugh, but always been electrifying.
Absolutely.
He's always been able to suck you in, but always been able to make it a fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, to your point, I think the first moment outside of a match, when Stone Cold came out with the beer truck against the McMahon Corporation, laid them all out with the beer. Kurt Angle kind of did the same thing, but it didn't hit the same as when Austin did it. A small moment I don't think most people remembered when Eugene was getting bullied by Jonathan Coachman and Triple H, and The Rock returned. That did it for me. Oh my God. Now, me personally, I think The Rock and I have the same birthday,
What is that?
May 2nd.
So you just had a birthday?
Yeah.
Well, happy
Couple weeks
belated.
ago. Thank you. Appreciate it. But once he was already my favorite wrestler, then I figured we had the same birthday. Oh, that's my twin. I could do everything you could do.
I mean,
No,
absolutely.
It was a certain level of false confidence that I had to walk in life with. It is what it is.
We all need something to hold on to. So
it's the moments.
right.
When Eddie Guerrero beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, that SmackDown following, when he came out, he came through the crowd.
Right.
That was the first time I remember a superstar coming through the crowd. They went electric. What everybody doing for Jey Uso now is cool. Anybody go back and look at that Friday Night SmackDown when Eddie Guerrero got introduced as the WWE Champion for the first time. Electric, beautiful. And at that point, shit, I'm damn near grown, but fell in love with it all over again.
Right. I get that. I definitely do. So life has changed since we were kids, obviously. But the love for wrestling has not. So as you've gotten older, what is the take on wrestling that you have now versus when you were younger?
I think it's always been the same, and it goes back to the old saying that art imitates life. Wrestling is no more than an art.
Right.
When it comes to those, it's scripted. It's this, it's that. So is every television show you ever watch. It's scripted.
Absolutely.
There's a plan. There's an understanding. There's a agreement of furtherance. That's all wrestling is. You just combine the element of sport. Now, of course, just like how life has progressed, we have progressed. Back in the 90s, it was hardcore going against the grain. You had your Stone Colds going against the McMahons.
Attitude Era.
Yeah, you
Absolutely.
had this understanding that we're going against the establishment. Everything balls to the wall. Cool. As we've grown through life, we went through what WWE calls the PG era, where everything was being sensitized.
Yeah.
Everybody was offended about stuff. So at a certain point, wrestling had to walk that same line of not offending too much, but
censored
also getting
television.
you what you need.
Right.
We're now at this point in life where, again, it's still imitating life, where our generation has gone, fuck what y'all got going on, fuck what y'all talking about. We're going to give you the best that we got, and you're going to take it. And WWE has done the same thing. They've, especially after the pandemic, during the pandemic,
That shit was
especially after.
terrible. Pandemic WWE was the worst shit. I would have rather them just sat down and did interviews on Mondays and Fridays versus the bullshit that we was looking at when it came to the match. That shit was awful.
So I understand and I agree. And we can go a little off topic.
Okay, let's do it.
To your point, it gave us main event Jey Uso.
Yes, okay.
It gave us the revolutionary Seth Rollins.
Okay.
And it gave us our tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Amen. But anyway.
The pandemic ultimately brought CM Punk back to WWE when nothing else would or could.
I love CM Punk.
It was a certain set of events to happen in life.
Right.
Now, do it be CM Punk's fault, the other company's fault, or whatever?
Right.
There were a myriad of things that happened that allowed all of this to give us what we have now.
Right. Come together and give us the stories that we had now. Absolutely. I agree. It was boring as hell though.
Just like the
And
pandemic. The
was
pandemic
so
was boring as hell, but since we done got past it,
no noise, just people wrestling in a ring. No nothing. Just
hey,
but
that's
you right. You're right.
that's my only thought on that.
For me, life has definitely changed. I've gotten older, you know, with the watching the WWE and wrestling, the rosters have been flipped. We've had a lot of legends pass away. But my love for wrestling stayed rock solid and always will be my escape. Wrestling fans are a different breed of people. You can show up, sit next to a complete fucking stranger, and by 2 minutes later, you screaming and vibing with somebody you have never met before, but you feel like you've known them forever. So, I feel like wrestling has a safe space for people.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of keyboard clowns and a lot of Karens on the internet when it comes to people's outlooks on the things that happen in wrestling, but I don't give a fuck. I've gone back and forth with people on threads many a times because they feel like they could say whatever the fuck they want to say. And you can, but I'm coming back at you. I'm not about to let you talk to me any kind of way because we on the internet.
Certainly.
But wrestling fans definitely
They're different.
they're different. They're different.
There's
They're
Twitter,
different.
and then there's wrestling Twitter. There's the IWC.
I don't
The-
get on Twitter to talk wrestling at all.
At all.
I get on Threads.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Threads.
I'm on Twitter, or X as they call it these days, but I get on there and say a little bullshit about life and then I move on. But I did share a Cody Rhodes post today. But I don't get on there like
Oh, that Raheem,
Raheem Rhodes. Look,
my boy.
I wear a Cody Rhodes bracelet, y'all. It says the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. It's really my son's, but I don't want him to lose it, so I took it and I wear it. But yeah, real fans know the deal with wrestling. You know what I mean? It's so much chaos, but it's also connection. Um, and yeah,
There's the wrestling community, there's wrestling fans, and then there's the IWC. And those are two completely different entities. The wrestling community, we can get together in person, we could talk online about what makes sense. Then you got those that just want to say shit just to say shit.
stupid shit. Like leave people alone. Like if you don't fucking like it, then you don't have to fucking comment. Like bye.
At this point, I just laugh at them because it's rage bait. That's all it is.
Yeah,
You're,
right.
you're
And I'm a
going in
dumbass to
attention.
take it.
And the
Dumbass
more,
jump
the
into
more I respond, the more you win.
Right.
You can't have that.
Okay, Mr. Positive. Not me. I'm getting on there and start going in. Like, bitch. Like that's just me though. Like I get in and I just start going in, and then I block the people.
I'm gonna report your shit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna do.
I started blocking people on threads because I'm like, you know what? I cannot put my energy into
They
this.
still don't do it.
I
I just report them.
report
Let the internet police deal with you. I don't fuck you. Fuck your opinion.
internet police.
Go ahead. But no, you're absolutely right. There's no other community. Everybody talk about Black Twitter. Black Twitter is calm compared to wrestling Twitter. Wrestling Twitter will have you searching somebody's IP address.
Damn.
Tell me I'm lying.
No, you're not lying. Because sometimes I'll be up at 1:00 in the morning and I'll be
The shit that comes
this typing and typing away. Like I know you are fucking lying. Like, are you serious?
Why are you spending this much of your day trying to prove something there? Be all along.
Off about some shit.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
We love it. Yes,
We love pro wrestling, but I'm not about to go back and forth with you. Screen name 0067 32 wrestling. Like I'm not about to do that shit. That shit's crazy to me. And weird than a bitch.
It is.
Anyway.
What's called Wusa.
So let's talk about the emotions and escapism that comes along with wrestling. And I'm sorry that again, we just had it, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper into it because we have y'all sections and things that we're supposed to be talking about. However, we are kind of flowing through this naturally as we should. The first episode of a podcast can be like super, like you're itching to make sure that everything is perfect. And I sometimes when it comes to things like this, I could be a perfectionist. So this is actually the real deal. We are going straight through this 45 minutes of talking. Boom. But I will say that I went to the Royal Rumble this year.
Mhm.
My first feeling.
Congratulations. That whole moment was beautiful. I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you
The way it came about for you, and for y'all that don't know, Fia and her children went to SmackDown. I was at SmackDown as well with my son. They were gracious enough to receive an opportunity to go backstage. Um,
And then we uh were asked to come to a suite. I forgot his name. But he offered his suite and let us come up to his suite. So that's when I gave you my tickets.
yep, yep. So I got to move down to the front row selfishly. I'm gonna throw that out there. But you got to meet, was it Bianca Belair?
Chelsea Green and
Chelsea
Bianca
Green
Belair.
and Bianca. Okay, wonderful. That is beautiful.
It was fun. It was
So
fantastic.
for those that don't know, how did that experience go for you?
So we ended up, me and my kids' dad, we ended up having this big plan to go to SmackDown. The plan was to use my Christmas bonus for the Royal Rumble. However, I was let go from my job due to budget cuts. And as it was happening, don't get emotional, girl. But
Let it up.
we went to SmackDown, and I felt bad because my son was like, "I wanna go to the Royal Rumble." I'm like, "Son, I wanna go too, but that's just not in the cards anymore, I'm sorry." So we bought these Royal Rumble, I'm sorry, we bought these SmackDown tickets, and we were like, "Okay, so we'll pay for a picture with Jey Uso as well, just to give it a little bit more oomph."
Mhm.
Um, and that was cool, we went, we got our picture with Jay, we got to SmackDown, we did the little pre-show, we saw Pat McAfee, which I love you, Pat, I'm coming for you. But
Hey, we in that, Pat. We here in the city.
But yeah, we got to see Cody Rhodes, just a bunch of people, and we were up close. And then once it was time for us to go to our seats, this lady came up to us and was like, "Hey," and we're looking at this white lady like, "Hello, how are you?" And she was like, "You guys look like a great family. We choose families, and they go backstage, they get to meet the superstars. Boom." I'm not gonna run through this whole story. You guys can get on Peacock and go to the Royal Rumble, and you will be able to see it. So we did get to meet Bianca Belair. We did get to meet Chelsea Green. They gave us tickets to the Royal Rumble, and we were in a little segment that they did at the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble was my first PLE. And it was the fucking most amazing experience of a lifetime. By the end of it, walking to the car, I was crying. I was just super overwhelmed because, I sit at home and I watch the Royal Rumble and you hear that fucking buzzard for the next person and you're counting down, but actually seeing and feeling that shit in person was absolutely fucking crazy. I there was the afterwards, the emotional aftershock was crazy. I fucking enjoyed the shit out of it. It was really crazy. It was really great. I had like a weird meltdown when Roman Reigns came out and I started like screaming like uncontrollably. But the crazy thing is I've met Roman Reigns in person before at a meet and greet. And I asked him, can I touch him? I will never want to meet him again. Never. Cause it doesn't work right.
What was his response?
He said, "Yeah," but he said, "Yeah." I was scared. I didn't know what to say, and so we shook hands, and that was it. I didn't mean like that. I wanted to hug,
Yeah.
but I mean, I asked. He shook my hand, and I got a picture. I looked really stupid, and that was it. Met Jay. That was cool. He was nice. I had a fucking ball at the Royal Rumble. That weekend was fucking amazing. I had a ball.
That's beautiful. I was there firsthand. I was secondhand. You was giving me real time feedback, and that was so dope that you got to experience that. It was so dope that you was able to give me your ticket so I could go from I went in nosebleeds, but we was up there down to the floor and got to see Cody come out during the dark match, and good vibes, good times. But yeah, I definitely wanted you to express that because that was a pivotal moment in what it is that we're trying to create now.
Yes.
But getting back to the topic, so you were talking about emotions and escapism.
Yeah.
Me personally, it's as a kid, it was being the only child, just having something to escape
Also an
into.
only child. Bored.
Yeah, bored as hell. Then I went to a Catholic school until I got in 8th grade. So it was just the isolationism. It was that might not be a word, but
I
y'all
was
get what
about
the
to
fuck
say, I
I'm
don't
saying.
think so, but okay.
The
Do you?
what we're not gonna try that again. Anyways, just me being by my lonesome,
There you go.
finding something that resonated within myself. Wrestling was it.
Right. Right.
I played a little basketball, played a little football. I was terrible at it. I started doing backyard wrestling at 12,
How tall are you?
6'4".
And you can't play basketball?
No, I can play basketball now.
Oh, I was about to say,
Oh no.
you wasting legs?
I will embarrass your biggest homie. No, that ain't a thing. But no, back then, growing up, I ain't been 6'4" all my life.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
At a
No.
certain point, yeah, my right hand didn't know how to collaborate with my left, and what I did know how to do is watch them suplexes that I saw twice a week, every week. So we started doing that.
Yeah.
I got pictures I could send you, Fig, of me at 17, backyard wrestling. We just out there BSing every Saturday morning.
Yeah, I remember me and my friends played so much that I got rock bottom and I actually hit rock. And I remember them being like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." Shout out to Courtney Grinnell and David Pope for that shit. Yes, I said y'all names. I don't know if y'all don't hear this, but shout out to y'all.
They will one day.
They will. But yeah, and that shit used to be so fun. We used to just play we was in 5th grade. We was just outside playing wrestling. But yeah, that shit used to be great.
But yeah, that was the escape. That was escaping the isolation that I faced as a teenager, then started beating. It was a stigma in school that most people didn't watch wrestling, when in reality, most people actually did
And still now.
and still do.
Especially now, people don't, "Oh, I didn't know you liked wrestling." I post every Monday a picture of me in the bed with the WWE symbol. Every Monday, and y'all just now
I'm not realizing y'all
we're
like
grown. It's not new.
oh, I didn't know.
Yes, you
Being
did. You
There's
did
pictures of
know.
me and my kids at plenty of events. But yeah, but then that comes with the emotion.
Yeah.
There's a segment that happens on Raw where you're sad and you watching somebody else go through a sad situation, or you watching who was bullied overcome a situation to come out
Right.
and drop 5 motherfuckers on their heads.
Love it.
You wake up Tuesday morning like, I could do that too.
Right. And I might.
This is why wrestling still hits. This is
Absolutely.
why it's untouched. We could watch the Pacer game. We love the Pacers.
Absolutely love
We love how this series going against right now against New York, because we keep coming back. Wrestling gives you that 2-3 times a week, every week, and sometimes a couple times within the same night.
So, and sometimes 3, 4 times a week. If you really want to count WrestleMania 2 nights, and then you got Raw NXT, you got Raw on Monday, NXT on Tuesday, SmackDown on Friday, and during PLE events like SummerSlam and WrestleMania, you got Saturday and Sunday. So you watching about 80 hours of wrestling some weeks. And I watch
And that's where the emotion comes through. It's kind of like, I hate comparing it to it. It's kind of like a soap opera.
It is like a soap opera. It's definitely a drama.
It's soap opera with violence.
Absolutely. I would compare it to like maybe replace it with Y'all Love and Hip Hop Weekly, because it's a way better experience. But yeah, that's exactly what
If
it
you
is.
can watch Love and Hip Hop,
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, it's like you're watching Love and Hip Hop. I told my mom this. I'm like, it has a story. We're not watching dudes just rumble around on
random stories.
No, it's just the story. And then weekly, I'm coming back because I want to know what's next. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know that."
Some of it's weeks, months,
Years. Yeah, some of it, hold on.
we've seen shit go on a decade long.
Yeah, just like Roman and Seth in the chairs. They've been smacking each other in the back with chairs for
What happens back to that?
always.
It always comes back to Indianapolis. And
Love
that's
it.
beautiful.
Shout out to Indy, man. Shout out to Nab. We've been doing our thing out.
We nice. Y'all look out for us.
Right. Okay. So, who speaks to you now versus back then? I mean, I can start if you want me to.
It's my narcissism.
Yuck.
I know. I know.
You.
It was The Rock then, it's
Oh.
Roman now. I'll give a caveat. It's Roman and Paul Heyman now.
Oh my God.
Because it's a little bit about Paul has taught Roman the art of war since the pandemic. So now Roman doesn't need Paul. Roman can get his rocks off and say what he needs to say. And I resonate with every bit of it. Because if you, for those that know, with Roman's story, it's you've been pushed to a certain extent and you was never given that respect.
Roman used to say suffer a succotash.
No.
That shit was horrible. I get secondhand embarrassment from watching that.
You took the words out of my
I
mouth.
don't want that.
But watching him go through all of that, and then it finally clicks.
Yes. He used to be terrible on that mic.
And now the way he walks out,
Yes.
the way John Cena embarrassed him, and then he goes back and embarrasses him and everybody else, the way he did Brock Lesnar on the mic on the road to WrestleMania 39. He gets out the ring. No, 38. These my fans. This is my cameraman.
And that's why we acknowledging him like that now. That's like acknowledge me.
He's who resonates with me now. The Rock back then, because I didn't have that voice back then. Finding this big, quote unquote, black man here talking the way he's talking to cats like McMahon, Triple H, Jericho. It's Stone Cold. Yeah, I'm with it. What about yourself?
So for me, back then it was The Rock, his confidence, the raunchiness.
I stand for The Rock here.
Definitely Rock stands, but now it's CM Punk.
I still love him. I love him.
I love CM Punk, the voice of the voiceless. And I don't really think I need to say much about CM Punk. Like
He said it for himself.
Yeah,
what do you call The Rock the other couple before WrestleMania? You bald fraud.
Bald fraud.
Oh.
I don't need to say too much about CM Punk. He is the voice of the voiceless. He's super raw, super real, and that's what resonates with me right now as an adult. If you had one match with one person, who would it be?
Me personally, I don't have that athleticism. I would love to go one-on-one with Finn Balor.
Really? Demon Finn?
Demon Finn. I would love. I don't have the athleticism of that,
Finn.
but I think he's small enough with my size that I could do some work with
What
you.
is small enough? How tall is he? You're 6'5",
8'5", 5'9".
Not.
He's not that big.
Look it up. Google it. And while you're Googling it, I will.
What about you?
Mine has nothing to do with athleticism. I ain't really trying to wrestle, but it's Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
I just want a riptide and a pin. That's it. 10 out of 10, I'm sure.
He's 5'11".
5'11". I told you what, damn 5'8". He just looks a little on.
He's with the rest of the small dudes, and then Dominic is like my size. So
no, I mean you're not. That's not short or anything.
No, it's not short at all. But I guess on TV it looks shorter when you in the ring with Damian Priest.
Yeah, he's huge.
Damian Priest is a little bit bigger than me.
I hate his hair.
He keep coming out with weave and shit in the WrestleMania when he won the World Heavyweight. And he had them braids.
And then he had the little ball at the top.
Yeah.
With the braids.
Hey, we love you, Damien.
I'm leaving that alone. And I don't like when he take the little stripe off.
He could be the modern day Undertaker, and I think he's starting to edge towards that.
I'm not.
The way he definitively beat.
Now I do love him. I just don't like the way he.
The way he beat Drew, and just walked out the cage.
Yeah.
That aura went up threefold.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and he is
his
great.
image could be a little different.
His image could be much better. Much better. Him and Nia Jax. But let's move on.
I love Nia.
I do too.
No, we're not going to disrespect Nia.
We're not disrespecting Nia. She just,
she's gotten so much better.
She does. And the last time I seen her, she looked really good. And she has gotten way better. She's doing.
And the promo work has gotten better.
It has. It's definitely gotten better. I'm going to agree with you.
Who's your most improved this year?
Most improved. Most improved. Let's see.
In my eyes, there's only one answer, but
only one answer. Most improved this year.
Male and female roster.
I don't know.
Naomi.
Listen.
She's been good. She's been damn good.
No. I
The way she showed up to that feud with Jade Cargill, compared to how they've placed her over the years,
I don't like the heel turn. It feels forced and weird to me. It doesn't look it looks forced. Even her talking, it just is forced to me.
I never bought her as a good as a face. So now that to me, in my opinion, I see it even better now that she's a heel. It to me, it seems more natural.
Really?
I didn't buy her as a face. Okay, yes, you have the glow and you have the let's go, all that shit, but I didn't buy it.
I don't buy this. The heel is not good for me. I don't like that. I mean, we can agree to disagree. I don't like it. And I know some of y'all are gonna be shitty because y'all love heel Naomi, but I do not.
I do.
I do not. I don't like it. It's just so forced to me. And her, it's like she's in the mic growling at Bianca Belair about not answering the
Wow,
phone.
waiting for that to pop
I
up.
think that that's weird, and it will, and it's gonna be great.
What? You think it's gonna be great just because of Bianca?
No, I think them going against each other will be great, but I still don't I don't like heel Naomi like that. It's weird to me. And maybe it'll get better over
Already, I'm buying it already.
it's not getting better. I didn't even think she was the one who pushed Jade who did that to Jade in the first place. I just didn't buy it. And when she said she did, I still wasn't going for it. I still thought Bianca did it. But
I think Bianca might have cahoots in it.
I still think so. I still think so.
But my bad, I ain't mean to get you off top.
No, you're good. We're still on topic, but for me, again, Rhea Ripley, I just want to be in the Riptide pin, y'all. There's no real rhyme or reason for it. There's this. It doesn't have anything to do with wrestling. So moving on, I guess. Let's talk.
If I could,
Go
no,
ahead.
my bad.
Go.
If I could take a finisher move, Undertaker last ride.
If I could
I want to
do,
be 10 feet in the air
no, I don't
and
want
get dropped.
I said before I die, I'm gonna learn how to do a moonsault. So
Have you ever been personally in the ring?
I have not. I have never been. No, I have not. Did that mess us up? No, it didn't. Cool. My phone started ringing, y'all. We're using my phone. Well, again, this is real new. So, no, I have not been in the ring. Have I thought about it? Absolutely. I'm like, I'm 36. I might as well. I can give some new shit a try. You know,
Might as well.
yeah. Nothing crazy, nothing too crazy. Just learning how to do a moonsault by 40. Hopefully I figure it out without breaking something.
Make sure the knees is good.
I don't know about that. All right, so let's go to the next thing, which would be culture and community. And like we just talked about how wild the wrestling community is, like threads and all of that kind of shit. But I have met so many people lately on threads, the internet in general, people from all over. Shout out to Grayson in Rhode Island. Grayson on Monday will text me and say, "Are you ready? Are we watching? What's up?" So shout out to Grayson. Also, I'm in a awesome Discord for all girls. It's called Hot Girls Love WWE, which is a safe space for us to fangirl. We watch the episodes together. We play WWE bingo and shit like that in there. We talk a lot of shit, but it's a community of the ladies that love wrestling.
No.
So shout out to them. You know, wrestling sometimes brings, like we've talked about, people together, and I definitely have so many new people in my life just from threads and Instagram.
Mhm. No, that's amazing. That's dope. No, I was letting you get it off.
No, you really go ahead.
I haven't had the pleasure of having the same experience.
Uh-oh.
No, like most of my wrestling compadres have been guys I've known 15 plus years. Now, since you and I have started this social media push,
Mhm.
just in the last 24 hours, I've gotten at least 15, 20 followers and people reaching out. Hey man, I didn't know you was doing that, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
People that we both know personally. Oh, that's well, all right, but all right, yeah. All is welcome.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that one going back to what we grew up with, how wrestling was. It was that one thing we kept to ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think most people had that same understanding. Now in 2025, that wrestling is so, it's always been mainstream, but now it's so prevalent in society where Triple H's front row of the NBA Eastern Conference playoffs. Um, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson are on SmackDown a year ago battling, and it's resonating itself
And
now.
Halliburton is on 2K.
He
He on
is.
2K, yes.
And just even going back, the biggest box office celebrity in the world is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Here you go with that man again.
It is. We
Dwayne.
stand for The Rock. People that don't know nothing about wrestling. My mama does not know nothing about
She'll
wrestling.
watch it.
She knows Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, my mom knows things about it. She knows about Jey Uso because we are a Jey Uso household.
Yeah.
We are a Jey Uso, a Cody Rhodes home, a CM Punk home, a Shawn Michaels home. We yeah, we're a home of wrestling lovers. My son especially loves Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso.
Same with my son. And I thought at some point we got to get them boys on here. We got to let them get their thoughts out because they the next generation. But like I said, my experience has been a little different. It's not too many wrestling fans until we just in that moment. Most of the friends I've met through wrestling are those I've met at wrestling events. And once we meet, it could be a random cat next. My guy Shine. Only met him because we was both at SmackDown before you invited me downstairs. He had his daughter there, I had my son. When they got to talking, we grew up 3 blocks away from each other.
Yeah.
Now we locked in.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy how that works.
Yeah. It's definitely been crazy meeting new people and being with people that you knew, but you didn't know they liked wrestling. What's your hot take of the week?
Bret Hart is mid as fuck.
Uh-oh.
Y'all can hate me. Y'all can unfollow me. I don't care. I've been here most of my life. Been watching wrestling since 1998. Done went back and watched wrestling back into the 70s, AWA days. Bret Hart is mid as fuck, and y'all give him the title of GOAT. I can name you 15 people better than Bret Hart. And that's another episode for another day. That's my hot take.
Okay. And my hot take this week is Braun Breaker is not a good wrestler. He is not good yet. He has the potential to be amazing, electrifying, but right now, baby, when I watch the matches, I be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's just all over the place.
I don't think he's that bad.
I think he's bad. When him and Jey Uso was wrestling last week,
That was just a bad match.
it was a horrible match until it got to the end. It was a horrible match. It was awful. And you can't say that they did so great. No, they did not. No, they didn't. That was horrible. And that's not the first time. Braun Breaker is just not good right now. And
He's a highlight spot. He's Goldberg. He's good with the highlights.
them damn spears are something different. But
The spears are amazing.
the rest of that shit is not. The look is good. The spears are good. He will get better. But that's my hot take this week. Wrestler of the week? What you think? Think we got a wrestler of the week?
The past week,
The past week. Let me think.
Trick Williams for winning the TNA championship.
Joe Hendry for losing it.
I like that. I ain't gonna lie. See, I like
Joe Hendry for losing it.
the way he took that graciously.
Yes.
They both put on a good match, but Joe carried the match.
And then also another wrestler of the week would be, I would say, Stephanie Valkyrie. She's about to go to the main roster.
He lost the title.
Lost the title, yes.
What's the old girl's name? And I'm sorry for disrespecting and not knowing your name. Soul chick from NXT who does the inverted moonsault to the DDT, or not the DDT, but the diamond cutter. She had a match earlier. Her name is Soul something, Soul Rakia. My son's gonna get mad when he hears this. But yeah, that was a great performance as well.
Yeah, they're doing great. They're doing great.
it's getting back to how I used to be. And I dig it. But yeah, Stephanie Vakir, Jelly Andrew, Trick Williams. Kudos.
And I will say this, and I know another, y'all are gonna be like, no, that's not the same. And during the timing of this being sad, I don't know if I want to say it. I don't know if I want to say it because y'all love to tussle, and I ain't trying to do all that.
Yo, man, this shit,
Y'all still to tussle,
this is your
but Blue Blazer and Grande Americano are exactly the same concept.
yes.
Why are we? That's the end of that. I ain't even gonna go no further because I already know what y'all gonna be ready to say. It's like it's not okay. Okay, who's on here? What y'all gotta say? I do have an email address and I don't remember it. Uh, so the next episode I'll get it to you, and I think it is in the bio. And it goes straight to both of us. I have to give you the login. So you ready to wrap up?
Let's get it.
So let's talk about factions next week.
Let's do it. I have opinions.
All right. So I'm Felicia.
I'm Mike J.
My Instagram is FreckleFaceFeed.
Is that Mike J? Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
And then the Storyline Podcast Instagram is Let's Talk Storyline. Again, I'm Felicia. It's been great talking to y'all. This is episode 1 of the Storyline, and we will be back next week talking about factions.